Hello, I'm Ginger Snap, and today I'm going to be teaching you about outdoor cooking. The first thing we're going to talk about is a charcoal chimney. The supplies you'll need is a charcoal chimney and something to light underneath. We usually use a cooking sheet. You're going to need some newspaper that you will crumple so it doesn't have to be perfectly good. You're going to need a pot holder or a mitt. You're going to need a lighting device, tongs, long tongs, because you're going to have to reach inside of the charcoal chimney. You're going to want briquettes, and you're going to want notes. Alright, now we're going to move on to our charcoal chimney. You're going to want to loosely crumple your newspaper so that it fits pretty snug underneath of your charcoal chimney. Just like so. Each briquette will equal 40 degrees Fahrenheit when fully lit. So my recipe called for 15 briquettes, and you always want a few extra, so I have 20. You're going to slowly piece them one by one, or all at once, into your charcoal chimney. Alright, I've loaded all of my briquettes in my charcoal chimney, and now it's time to light it. You're going to take your match or any other lighting device, and you're going to want to go right into these bars. And just like that, you want to make sure you get all the newspaper lit, and wait 20 to 30 minutes before you start, and take them out and put them on your cooking device of choice. Here's a few extra tips when working with a charcoal chimney and briquettes. When the charcoal briquettes are fully gray, that is when they're ready. When using briquettes to foil cook or Dutch oven cook, you need to occasionally tap the ash insulation off the outside of the briquettes, physically tapping them with your tongs to make sure that they can continue radiating heat. I'm going to demonstrate how to use a box oven, and meaning that I'm not going to use hot coals or baking anything. The supplies you'll need is a box oven fully insulated with foil and foil tape, 4 cans. They can be bean cans or they can be soda cans. You'll need a rock. You'll need your desired amount of briquettes according to your recipe, a baking pan, a baking sheet full of whatever item you're making. You'll need a lighting substance or source, and you want to already have your briquettes and your charcoal chimney already done, so these would be gray. There's 2 different methods of doing this. If you have 2 cans, you can put them in the center with a small container on top. Remember, the briquettes will be hot, so you'll need hot mitts and tongs to care for them. Once you have this done, you're going to want to take your box oven and put it fully over the top. You're going to want to place your rock on the edge just for some ventilation. Every single time you're going to want to move your box oven up to peak, you just want to take it straight off, peak, and then you'll know, don't gently open it because then that'll lose more heat. Every single time that you take off the box oven, you're going to lose 25 degrees, and you're going to want to add 15 minutes to your timer. So I already have that planned. The second method is the 4-can method. You're going to want to make sure all of your cans are the same height, place them down, make sure all the coals are centered, and you're going to place a bigger baking sheet, normally shallower than the 2-can method. You're going to want to put your box oven on top, making sure not to tip the entire thing over. Just like so. Making sure it gets the ground, and then you're going to put the rock underneath. Next, I'm going to show you foil cooking. It's really simple, and you only really need 2 things. You're going to need your foil and you're going to need some sort of tongs to put it in the fire or in the briquettes, and that's how you're going to be cooking it. Since I'm doing a demo today, I'm going to be using fake food, and just one more note, since it's going to be hot, you're going to want hot pads and hot mitts. Super simple. You put your food in the center. You can make it as big as you want. There's a bunch of recipes online, a great resource. Now, the folding is where it gets a little bit tricky, but not too tricky. You're going to fold it over once on each side. Say about 2.5 inches. You're going to fold it over one more time so that it's over the top. You're going to want to make sure there's an overlap. And you just pack it down. And then you're going to fold the sides up until you get to the center. Make sure this stays flat and so that there's not anything getting in. If you're doing multiple people, you're going to want to write their name in permanent marker like a Sharpie, just so you know whose it is because they all look very similar. Simply take it, put it in the fire or in your briquettes, and that's all it's done. If you'd like to learn more about Dutch oven cooking, including how to do it, and learn a delicious recipe for chocolate cherry dump cake, watch the linked video on your screen. Thanks for watching!